everybody, and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. My name is Big Bill. How are y'all doing today? As I am doing good, as today is April 7th. Yep. April 7th, 2026. I just want to quickly apologize to all of you. I totally forgot about the weekend. And what I mean by that is I totally forgot about the holiday. So I do apologize to all of you. Happy Easter to all of you. I know I'm 2 days late, and I do apologize. It literally slipped my mind because I knew we were in that weekend. I knew we were in a weekend for a holiday, but it was like it slid my mind until I realized it on Sunday, or actually I realized it on Saturday after I did the video, and I'm like, wait a minute, something doesn't seem right. So anyways, happy Easter to all of you. Hope you all had a wonderful holiday with family and friends. And yeah, so good morning and good afternoon and good evening to wherever you are watching. Hope you all doing well. Hope you all had a wonderful holiday weekend, and hope you guys had a wonderful start to your week. As today, yes, we are back on ATS, and yes, we are back in the beautiful Peterbilt 379. Got a long load ahead of us. Well, not really long. It should take us about 3 videos. And I need over in this lane. Oh my. It is going to be a 3-part video. It is going to have a quiet trip. It is going to have two parts of me talking. But you guys are looking at the title of the screen. Okay, that's not what you're saying to us. You're saying something else to us. If you guys have not read the title yet, today we're on a topic question, and this topic is pretty much a question I get asked all the time, either by you guys privately or you guys publicly, or even outside of YouTube, even on Facebook, TikTok, or wherever, or even Instagram. You know, if you guys found me on there. Let's actually talk about today's load, and then we're going to get to the topic. Today we're beginning a trip. We are hauling a Cat R1600H Bucket, weighing in at 13,038 pounds. Not too bad on the weight. It is a little bit wide, so we do need the beacons on, so it does count as an oversized load. It's not that heavy, so we don't need to drop that tag axle. This is the Rogers Lowboy, and I have explained this before. If you guys do purchase this trailer from Pizzster, there is a README file that tells you if you're hauling this trailer configuration, you can actually drop this tag axle back here on the trailer. But like I said, it's not too bad. 13,038 pounds. We really don't need it. We're going from Centro, California, Cargill to Emporia, Kansas. We're going to Northwestern Energy. $108,990 is what we're getting paid. 13 hours and 46 minutes till we have to rest. Trip time and trip distance. Trip distance is 1,471 miles. Trip time is 24 hours and 53 minutes. Now, of course, we're going to crew Centro here. We don't have the special transport, which we can't go through every single goddamn red light, but hey, it's okay. It is what it is. So, not too bad, not too shabby. Really didn't do much over the weekend. You know, spent time with family. Let my son do an Easter egg hunt. You know, even though he wasn't feeling well, you know, I wasn't feeling the greatest either. But we are feeling good now. You know, he got to have a little bit of fun. He got to do an Easter egg hunt. So, then we got to celebrate Easter, which, you know, we really don't do much. You know, we spend time with family and pretty much have a good time. Now, of course, there was no NASCAR Cup Series race, which is fine with me. You know, it's a nice little break. Sunday wasn't really the greatest of weather, but hey, Saturday was beautiful over here in Pennsylvania. I'm just gonna say screw it and run this light, because I actually got told by a truck driver, a fellow truck. Really? Okay, whatever. I actually got told by a fellow truck driver that apparently out west some guys don't even stop at them, and they just, you know, they treat it like a yield over here, which is a yellow arrow, and then boom. We did lose quite a bit of time. That's okay. My goal was to drive through the whole state of Arizona and then stopping at the rest area there at the border of Arizona and New Mexico, and then we will proceed by going through. Alright, let's get to the topic at hand. Now both these next two videos are going to be topic videos. Okay, pretty much we're going to be talking about two things involving a truck, and that is the engine and the transmission. Okay, what is the best engine? What is the best engine and what is the best engine manufacturer is this topic. The next topic is what is the best transmission and transmission manufacturer for transmissions for big rigs. Now, I am going to put this out there. Yes, I decided to do some topic videos, and the reason I'm doing some topic videos is because let's take a break from talking about what we normally talk about, which is the truck, the trailer. Well, not really the truck and trailer, but really, like, you know, outside of stuff. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, there are multiple engines out there for big rigs, going from back then, from old engines to new engines, to fuel efficiency engines, to non-fuel efficiency engines, to engines that are meant for heavy hauling, to engines that are meant for light duty uses like city work, or even local deliveries, or out and about, pretty much. Pretty much is what I'm trying to get at now. A little laggy. I think there's a one mod that's not working properly, but it's alright. I am working on that right now, actually, the little glitchiness, so do bear with me, because I took notice in the silent trip that we were lagging a little bit, so I am working on that. Bear with me, excuse me. Alright. So, my opinion, the best engine manufacturer right now would be Cummins. A lot of people are going to argue it's Detroit. A lot of people are going to argue it's Volvo. A lot of people are going to argue it's Mack. Even Caterpillar is still going to be an option. Now, if you ask me about older engines like early 2000s, late 90s, I'm going to say Caterpillar every day. Or even Cummins, Caterpillar, Cummins, or even the older Detroits. You know, and that's where the argument begins. Okay, well, what are we talking about as in motors? Are we talking about new motors now? Or are we talking about motors back then? You know, what is the best motor to use? You know, which one has the best sound? Now, really, it all depends on the best sound. It all depends on what can do the best amount of work. And doing so, when it comes to the best amount of work, is okay, what's good for heavy hauling, what's good for everyday usage, or what's good for just city usage, you know what I mean? So yeah, now my personal opinion is Caterpillar. It was Cummins, and the only reason I say it was Cummins and then I switched to Caterpillar is because a lot of the Cummins motors, now, I'm not saying Caterpillar is the greatest. I can't believe I just did that and somehow we just saved that. I just started leaning back in my chair and, you know, I just happened like to take my finger off of it, off the one button, the throttle button, and hit that button. But anyway, the debate is always going to be the same. What is the best motor? Or what is the best engine manufacturer? Me personally, nowadays it's going to be Cummins, because really, Detroit diesel is not what it used to be. I mean, they're good motors, but they're not living up to the hype from what I'm being told by a lot of people. Volvos are alright, it's just that, you know, you don't really see too many Volvo Volvo, like heavy spec Volvo, like Volvo for dump trucks, Volvo heavy haul, like Mack, for example. You know, even though Volvo does own Mack now, or it has been owning Mack, you know, that's the same thing. You know, Mack does everything. Like in our trucks, we have the Mack MP8, except our engines aren't, you know. You had plenty of opportunity to get over. Alright. Oh, I gotta love the AI. Just like, another thing, reliability or parts, you know, where can I get the best parts, or where can I find to get the parts, or that stuff, you know. And a lot of times Caterpillar and Cummins are the top two, because Detroit Diesel, they came a long way from what I'm told from other truck drivers. You know, I've been told by a lot of truck drivers that Detroit Diesel has come a long way, but the unfortunate thing is, for a second I thought he was up against my door, and then, you know, I didn't even move over and he backed off. Gotta love it. Anyway, a lot of the drivers nowadays, you know, they would now argue, okay, maybe it's not Detroit Diesel, maybe it's not, you know, double D's. I think it's funny that a lot of people call them that. You know, a lot of people, you know, will sit there and argue, say Volvo, or a lot of people sit there and say Mack. Now, the guys who say Mack are the guys who do what I do, you know, heavy, you know, we're not really heavy hauling, but we're near that weight of like 80,000 pounds. We're near that weight most of the time now. Not all the time, but most of the time we are pulling upwards or near 80,000 pounds of our motors, you know. So, but like I said, this one is set up for debate. Leave a comment down below. What do you think? You know, obviously, you know, another thing why, you know, I do say Caterpillar is also my uncles. You know, my uncles are also truck drivers, and, you know, they'll sit there and tell me, because one of them has been trucking driving for, actually, 3 of them have been truck driving for a very long time, and 2 of them would say Caterpillar, 1 would say Cummins, but they'll also say, you know, hands down, you know, it all depends on how good you take care of the equipment, you know. You know, if you take good care of that truck, you know, that truck's gonna take good care of you. I didn't realize we were getting off here. Okay, that saves a whole bunch of time. Well, actually not. There's actually jump on the map. Oh yeah, it does. Because we get to shoot across Phoenix, and then, yeah. The plan is to stop here. That's the plan that gets to stop there. If not, we're going to stop here. Because then we're going to go to either here or here in the next part. That way, you guys get all of that as your silent trip. Maybe go here if I'm feeling frisky. So. Alright, so to make this topic interesting, okay, you know, what are truck drivers using nowadays, or what is truck companies using nowadays? Well, a lot of the companies nowadays that are Swift, Knight, Prime, trying to think of a few other ones that are big name, they're going straight to Cummins. They're using the X15 or the fuel efficiency X15. You know, they're not using the big 565 or 605 horsepower engines that, you know, the heavy haul guys are using. So Tesla coming out. Now, hands down, right now, I would say Cummins, because Cummins is, you know, is killing the market. And when I say it's killing the market, I mean not in the nicest way possible, because nowadays when a lot of these guys that are over the road or regional or local, they'll pop the hood and you'll see red Cummins underneath the hood. You know, you don't see that yellow Caterpillar anymore, or you don't see, you know, a lot of Detroit diesels anymore, like the Detroit Diesel Series 60 or 16, you know. Like this truck here, Peterbilt 379, okay, got told by my uncles, seen a lot of people who operate these trucks, is Caterpillar. And see, and that's another thing too, okay. Now we did leave one manufacturer out, and that's PACCAR. PACCAR, who owns Peterbilt and Kenworth, and they also make their own motors. PACCAR is no. And here's the reason why PACCAR is not that good. Their turbos, good luck finding them. I got told that a lot of the motors, especially back then, PACCAR motors did not have good turbos, or they had no turbos at all. When you're in a diesel truck like this, you need turbos. You know, you need that extra boost. You know, that's like, you know, the biggest battle I hear when it comes to motors is 6NZ, Caterpillar 6NZ, which is a C15, 3408, 340B, or 3406E, 3406B, you know, versus the ISX Cummins, 12, 15, the N14 comes to my mind a little bit, you know, and you know, and a lot of trucks, you know, here's the craziest thing about that too, is a lot of guys who run Kenworth would go with Cummins sometimes. Now there would be a couple guys who run, you know, W900s who would go with Caterpillar. Now don't get me wrong, between Peterbilt and Kenworth, any Caterpillar works, in my opinion. When it comes to Cummins, same thing with the both of them. Detroit Diesel, I don't know. And because the reason I say I don't know is because you don't really see Kenworth's Detroit Diesels in them. Like you see the old school W900s, or maybe the old school W9W or Kenworths with Detroit Diesels, like a Series 60, or I'm trying to think of the other series that I hear a lot of them put in, you know. But what I'm trying to say is, you know, in this day and age right now, you don't really see Detroit Diesel and Peterbilt or Kenworth. Now you do very here and there. You mainly see Detroit Diesel and Freightliner. Here we go. Now International's a little different. And the reason I say International is a little different is because, okay, instead of making their own engines, they just take anybody's. And that's why I got told they'll take anybody's motor. So me personally, okay, hands down, what is the best motor in my opinion now? If we go with newer, X15 Cummins. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. And the reason I say the proof's in the pudding like that is because look at all the trucks that are running X15s with the high horsepower motors, who are pulling the oversized loads, who are pulling the big heavy loads. You know, they might not be oversized, but they could be heavy. We're actually doing better than what I thought. I mean, yeah, we're speeding, but we're only speeding to catch up with time. So yeah, that's another thing too, you know, and you know, it's actually a good topic to talk about. What is the best engine manufacturer? What is the best motor out there now? Personally, you know, my favorites, you know, C15, King of the Hill, 6NZ, or, you know, 3406. Why are we slowing down? So yeah. Shouldn't take us too long. Oh, and we did pay off, and I'm gonna get back on the topic here in a minute. We did pay off that bank loan that we had to get those trucks in Tucson, so we are bank loan free. And at the moment, I didn't buy any trailers for Tucson, but here, probably after this load, I'll probably buy a trailer or two for Tucson. So, right now I'm just getting a little game plan here. Down, I would pick this 6NZ 3406E or B. Take your pick. You know, and don't get me wrong, I also do think Caterpillars sound a little bit nicer than Cummins. I just think it all depends on which Cummins it is or which Caterpillar it is. You know, because a lot of them sound, you know, they all don't sound the same. They sound very different. If you're a truck driver, you know what that sounds like, or what's this, or what's that, you know what I mean? So, oh my God. Me personally, I think it's Caterpillar for back then. Nowadays it's Cummins. But let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think is the best engine manufacturer and best engine? And remember, this is up for debate, so you guys can obviously leave your comment. So, I don't know what happened there. offset didn't die, so stupid little things. It's always the stupid little things. I don't know why. But yeah, you know, like I said, let me know in the comments below what is the best, what is, in your opinion, the best engine manufacturing, the best engine, whether it be new or old. Next video is going to be transmissions, which that one should be easy, but yet, you know, we're going to have that debate and talk about it. So now I will say this also. I know a few of you did ask me a few quick questions. So with that being said, let's answer them real quick. First question. The first question is, hey Bill, question for you. I know there's a lot of new map DLCs coming out for both Euro Truck and ATS. Which one are you looking more forward to and why? Oh, that's actually an easy question to answer. ATS, definitely. The more states, the happier I think a lot of people will be with ATS. Also, you know, the bigger area we can explore. We can also visit more states, you know, get more achievements, you know, work on some stuff like get some other shit done, you know what I mean? So that would probably be why I would pick ATS. Now, don't get me wrong, ETS2, the DLCs they have put out are just fabulous. Excuse me, are just fabulous. So, alright, I think this is the way station coming up. I'm gonna hit the map again. Yeah, right here. So I would go to here, but because we are a little bit over, actually, you know what? Let's see what here. Let's see. If we get called in. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. Because knowing my luck, it says closed. Oh, there's the, wow, wow, has it been that long? You guys gotta remember, we came in a different way through, or I don't even think we, I'll have to look back, did we actually come through Arizona or no? But yes, that is the mission, was to stop here at the border, or just on the other side of the border with New Mexico, with Arizona. Obviously, as you can see, we have, there it is, there is a sign I've been looking for. I called it. It's all good. Like I said, they got a resting spot back there. They do allow trucks to sleep at way stations. And they really don't need to bother us because they're going to check us. Now, the question I do get all the time is, and I actually did get asked this question, is it true about what some truck drivers say about DOT and that they will check your truck while you're receiving? Absolutely, it's true. It is true. Like, I don't know if they do it now or they don't do it at all, but very good friend of mine who was over the road, they did it twice to him. I just took the camera out. 64,098 pounds. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Alright, so what you do is you pull in here like normal. I feel like it's gonna be a lot easier going out the way this guy's parked with his McDonald's trailer. So that's how we're gonna do this. Oh yeah. Nice fat white spots. That's the way I like it. And nice pavement too. Alright. Yeah, we actually did better than I thought. 15 hours. So, video is a little bit longer than what I want, but hey, it's okay. It's okay. You know, we made it to where I wanted to stop. You know, obviously, if you look, we have over 5 hours. I'm not going to drive another 5 hours in a game, which would probably be another 20 minutes or so. I'm not going to do that. So, sleep here, and then we'll pick up where we left off. All right, guys. Hope you all have a wonderful start to your week. Be on the lookout for something new. Either you're going to be out this weekend or towards the end of this week. If not, it'll be another ATS video. But hey, guys, have a good one. I'll see y'all next time. Thank you for all the love on here on YouTube. Let's keep it going. Please like, comment, subscribe. Bye.